In today's video, I'm going to be showing you step by step how you can start running TikTok ads. Now, I'm not talking about running organic TikTok ads. I'm actually talking about making a full-on paid campaign. So that way you can start reaching a completely brand new and broad audience. So you can start making some more sales on one of the biggest platforms to ever exist. So first things first, I'm going to assume that you already have your seller account set up. But if you don't have that set up, or if you need help with that, make sure you check out this video right here. In it, Laurent is going to explain absolutely everything that you need to know in a very broken down and very easy to understand manner. That video is literally an A to Z guide that's going to give you everything that you need to know. So if you haven't set up your shop just yet, make sure you check out that video before this one. But if you have set up your shop and you already have your TikTok seller account, then this is how you're going to start running your ads. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to run over to our TikTok seller center, and we're going to look under the marketing tab. We're going to look under shop ads. We're going to go ahead and click on that. And once our page loads up, this is what we're going to see, our ads dashboard. Where we're going to go is going to be up here, create custom shop ads. Now from here, the default setting for your advertising objective is going to be for product sales. And of course, that's what we want, right? We want product sales for, well, our products. We want to start making some sales. But that's not the smartest option to go with, at least not at the beginning. First, what I would suggest for you to do is simply to click on show all, and we're going to switch it over from product sales. Hear me out before you click off this video, because I know a lot of people are thinking, but why? I'm going to explain it to you right now. We're going to switch over to either reach or traffic. The reason for this is because if you go through product sales, TikTok is going to start using your budget like this. It's going to start using a higher budget at the beginning to find people that are more likely to purchase your products. Now, that's not necessarily what we want. What we want is to be able to examine our audience. We want TikTok to start running different tests and see who's actually clicking on our links. And so what we're going to go with is going to be traffic. Now, the reason that we're going to go with traffic is so that way TikTok at the beginning can start using less of a budget and actually start to gather all of the relevant data that it needs to finally find the people that are actually looking to make a purchase. So after that, after we choose our advertising objective, we're going to scroll down and we're going to set our campaign name. Now for this, I do have a dog collar that I'm going to be advertising. It's a golden dog collar that I'm going to show you in a little bit. But for this, I'm simply going to put golden dog collar. Something simple. So that way we know what this particular campaign is going to be for. Now, as far as our special ad categories, this is not anything that we need to mess with because we're dropshippers. We're not going to be messing with housing, employment, or credit. So besides that, we have a few other options. We have create a split test, campaign budget optimization, or set a campaign budget. Now, we're going to leave all of these blank except for set a campaign budget. So for this, we are going to have a minimum of $50 a day, but don't worry because we're not going to be wasting or spending $50 every single day. That's not how it works. This is really going to be just an overall umbrella for anything that's under it. So this is really going to cover all of your ad sets and all of your different ads. So any other ads that we create under our golden dog collar campaign will be taking advantage of this daily budget. So with that, we can go ahead and continue. And now we're going to set a name for our ad group. I'm going to name it something simple for now, Golden Dog Collar Group 1. And then we're going to need to optimize our location. So do we want to send traffic to our website or do we want to send traffic to our app? We don't have an app. We're not making an app for this. So we're going to be choosing our website. Now, whether you're directing people to your actual website like mystore.com or to your TikTok shop, this is going to be the one that you choose, the website. Now, if we scroll down to the next option, we have placements. So where is your ad going to be shown? Is it going to be shown on TikTok? Is it going to be shown on any other apps? This is something that's very, very important. So we're not going to do automatic placement. We're actually going to go to select placement. And check this out. If we do automatic placement, for the most part, it's going to be showing on TikTok, but it's also going to be showing on Global App Bundle and Pangle. Now, my question to you is, have you ever heard of Global App Bundle or Pangle? Because I haven't. So that's just going to be a waste of money. Let's go ahead and check those off. And we're going to stick to only TikTok. Now, I'm not saying that these two are a complete waste of money, but these two apps, they're not as widely known or as widely used as TikTok. TikTok is going to be the king of everything. TikTok is going to be where everyone is going to be making their purchases. And it's also going to have the biggest and most broad audience, which ultimately is what we're looking for right now. As always, I'm going to have an easy to reference cheat sheet with everything that I'm talking about today laid out for you in a step-by-step manner. So that way it's really easy for you to follow along, even if you're not watching this video. So if you want access to that, just go ahead and drop a comment down below with the hashtag TikTok dropshipping and let me know what your takeaway is from this video. When I see that you went ahead and did that, I'll reply back with a link to the sheet. So if we scroll down a little bit more, then we have our targeting. Now this is where we're going to choose who's going to be interested in our products. If we know a particular niche or a type of category that people that are interested in our types of products like to purchase, then we can go ahead and start assigning that in here. So for one, we're going to go ahead and choose our location. In my case, I'm only dropshipping in the US. I don't dropship internationally. All of my businesses are located in the US and cater to the US audience. So as far as location, I'm sticking to the US. But if you do dropship in any other countries, you can go ahead and search for the different locations through here. Now, as far as the age range, who is actually looking for your product? This is something that you're going to have to think about and you're going to have to be a bit realistic about. So I'm going to be selling dog products. This campaign or this ad group is going to be specifically for a golden dog collar. Now, in this case, I can expect to have more of a younger demographic, but that's not to say that we should exclude anybody in the, I guess, older section, any of the boomers, I guess you can say. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave 18 to 24, 25 to 34 also, 35 to 44. But then when we start to get into the 45 to 54 and 55 plus, these two, they might not be as interested as this other demographic of people. So I'm going to take off 45 to 55 plus, and I'm not going to advertise it to anybody between the ages of 13 and 17. My target audience is going to be between 18 to 44. Now, as you can see up here, I don't know if you noticed it earlier, but I'm pretty sure we can add a screenshot. It was a way broader audience. Now that we narrowed it down based on age range, we can see that we actually have a lot less people that we're going to be targeting. Even though 92 million people is still a massive amount of people. So don't worry, it's not like you're going to be excluding so many people that nobody's going to see your ad. In this case, we have between 92 million to 112 million people watching or with the possibility of watching our ads. So don't worry, we still have a very broad audience that we can target. And even then, we might want to start niching down a little bit more. We might want to make it a bit smaller of an audience. The trick to these types of ads is keep a wide demographic of people, keep a broad audience, but not too broad where it's going to start targeting people that don't care about your product. So as far as the gender, I've noticed that for the most part, it's guys that purchase this type of product or this type of chain. So I am going to go ahead and put male for this. Even though women do also purchase some of these products, this one in particular that I'm offering, for the most part, I've had more guys purchase it than girls. Then we have spending power. In this case, you can either do people that like to spend a lot of money or just overall anybody. I like to keep this at everyone because if we choose only people that really have, I guess, a high budget or people that really spend a lot of money in these different types of products, we're going to be excluding a lot of other people. So for this, let's keep it at all. In household income, this really doesn't matter. We can go ahead and keep that as is. Then we have our audience. We can go ahead and leave that blank. Now, interests and behaviors. This is what I was telling you about earlier. This is where you're really going to start to narrow down your audience. So here we can simply just put dogs, and you're going to have a few different options here. So you have Doge, which we're not messing with Doge right now. You have dogs, doggies, dog collar, dog training, dog walking. Now, mine in particular is going to be in the dog collar section, but we can also add a few others, like let's say just a very broad one, which is dogs. Now, if we look up here, we can see that our available audience actually dropped down from quite a few million to 379,000 to 464,000. This is already starting to get a bit too narrow for my liking. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this off. And I'm going to leave it as is. I'm not going to choose a target audience because we might miss somebody that could be interested in our products. There's most likely a few people out there that aren't telling TikTok that they like these types of products. So they're not going to be shown these products if we start to narrow it down so much. So because of that, I'm going to leave the available audience to balanced. Has a good amount of people, 46 million to 56 million. That's a lot. Now, if we scroll down a little bit more, we have device. The only reason I would use this right here and choose either Android or iOS is if we're selling anything that's specific for Android or Apple phones, which we're not. So leave that blank. And now we can go ahead and set a budget and schedule our ad. Now, this daily budget, this isn't going to be 100% relevant to the $50 that we said earlier. This is going to be specifically for this group, the Golden Dog Collar Group 1. Now we can go ahead and make another group and add the Golden Dog Collar Group 2, where we're going to have a few different ads or even a different target audience. In which case we can go ahead and put, let's say, $30 for this one and $20 for the other one. And that way it's going to use all of the $50 for our primary campaign. So for this, I'm going to leave it at $20, which is actually going to be the minimum. If you try to go lower than that, it's not going to let you. Minimum for this is going to be $20. Every once in a while, it might use a little bit less of a budget, but always expect to spend the $20 at the end of the day. Even though, again, you're not always going to spend it, it's still good to expect that you're going to be using up your budget. Now, as far as schedule, we can go ahead and schedule our ad to start either now or maybe tomorrow or the day after, whenever you think that most people can be active on social media so they can start seeing the ad. And then we also have to set an end time. Now, that's not something that I like to do. I don't like to set an end time. I just like to have it start and just keep running until I myself pause it. The reason for this is because the ad might be doing very, very well. It might be reaching a lot of people. It might be collecting a lot of information on these people that it's reaching. It might even be making a few sales. So if we decide to set an end date, it might just abruptly cut it off, and then we just lost everything. I mean, we didn't lose anything because we still have that information, or TikTok still has that information, but we're not going to be collecting any more information. We're not going to be making any more sales, in which case, more than likely, we're just going to stop making money because our ad stopped working. So I like to leave it continuously running until I decide to stop it. Now, after our budget and our schedule, we have our bidding and optimization. Now, this is also something that's very important. Here by default, your optimization goal is going to be set to click, and that's actually my favorite one to go with. The other option you have is landing page view. This one I find more of a waste of money than clicking, because this is the way that this is going to work. TikTok is going to start using your budget, and it's going to start using your budget based on impressions. So as you can see here, the building event is going to be impressions. So people that actually see your ad. That is kind of a waste to me. I prefer to leave it at click. So that way your building event is going to be clicking or cost per click, meaning that the only time that TikTok is going to use your budget is going to be when somebody actually clicks on your ad. And that is going to be the most efficient way to do things, simply because at the same time, TikTok is going to be taking that information and storing it. It's going to start to know who's clicking on your ads, what demographic of people are clicking on your ads, what are their interests, and then it's going to start targeting people with similar interests. So after we have this set, the next thing we can do is go ahead and continue. And now comes the fun part. Now is when we can actually start to structure our ad and structure what our viewers are going to see, or what our potential customers are going to see. So here we can go ahead and give a name to our ad. So again, I'm just going to keep it simple, golden dog collar 1. And then the next option we're going to have is going to be the identity. So how do you want your ads to be shown? Do you want them to be shown as your own profile, or just as an ad overall? If you show it as your own profile, then you're going to have people that are going to be clicking on the ad, and they're going to be able to be directed to your actual TikTok account or the video that you posted. Now, the difference here is simply going to be that where if somebody clicks on an ad that's not tied to a TikTok account, they'll click on the ad and they'll be directed to the product page. Whereas if they click on the ad that's attached to a TikTok account, they can go ahead and be directed to the website, but depending on where they click, they can also be directed to your actual profile. My suggestion, if you're not really looking to increase your engagement in your profile and you just want to run ads and you want to just market your products, then just go ahead and leave this turned off. So that way, whenever anybody clicks on anywhere on your ad, they'll be directed directly to the product page. Now, besides that, we have down here the ad details, and this is where we're going to choose either a single video or carousel of images. What is the difference? A video is going to be just that, a video that plays, whereas a carousel of images is going to be those different pictures that you see on TikTok sometimes that you just scroll through. And again, that's just pictures, it's not videos. My suggestion to you is if you have a higher budget, then you can create different ad sets, some that could be done through video while others can be images, and just overall see what works best for you. Now, besides that, we have our ad creative. This is where we can go ahead and upload our video or choose from our library. I'm gonna go ahead and upload one really fast. All right, so this video that I'm uploading is actually a video that I created quite a while ago, and it did really well organically. So I'm excited to see how it does through ads. Now I went ahead and uploaded it. Now we can go ahead and click on continue. And while that's uploading, we can go ahead and add our text. So here we can write something that can really accentuate or bring to life our product, something that needs to catch the eye of the user or the viewer. All right, so here under the text, I put something simple. This simple chain can totally change how your dog looks. And that's what it's gonna look like down here. That's what's gonna show as the text of the video. Now here we can actually preview our ad and get an idea of what our viewers or our potential customers are gonna see. So again, here's our text. We can go ahead and click on play. You can see that's my dog with his nice little bling. It actually looks really cool. That gold on the black fur looks really good. And that's it. It's a pretty short video, 8 seconds. It doesn't need to be too long. Really, all I'm trying to do is show how the product looks on a dog, on my dog in particular. Now, when it comes to actually making your TikTok ads or making your TikTok videos, There's a few things that you can do if you don't have access to the product itself, or if you simply just don't want to order the product. For one, you can go on TikTok, look for the same product, and download those videos. Now, I don't suggest that you upload those same videos. I highly suggest that you download them, you do a little bit of editing, you add some text, add some transitions, maybe add a little bit of fading here and there, so that way it doesn't look exactly the same as the original. Which honestly, if you do that, if you just simply download and re-upload a video, the video could be taken down, or it might just not perform very well at all, because TikTok doesn't like that. TikTok knows when you're downloading a video and when you're re-uploading it. Trust me, I've tried it, and those videos literally get 0 engagement. At most, they'll get maybe 12 views. Besides that, another option that you have is order the product to a content creator. So you can look on somewhere like Fiverr and look for different UGC content creators. Of course, you're going to have to find somebody that's relevant to your niche, or in my case, that has a dog, but that's also something that's actually very good to do. If you go on Fiverr and you look up UGC creators, you're going to find a lot of different people with a lot of different budgets, anywhere ranging between $5 to $25 to over $250 or $300. But besides that, my suggestion, honestly and personally, is to just order it yourself. If you can order one sample to yourself, you can make as many videos as you'd like, and you don't have to pay anybody else to make those videos for you. You're always going to be able to come up with new and original content. So again, I suggest to order it for yourself and make your own videos, but there's also a lot of options out there that you can do. Now, besides that, once we have everything uploaded and once we have our text set up, we have our call to action. So down here, you have this shop button. So you can either click on shop or, oops, I accidentally deleted them, but here you're gonna have a few other call to actions that you can add on there. So some of the good ones would be shop, order here, place your order today. It sounds pretty good, but I might not go with that one. I don't know, I think it's a little bit too long. You also have buy here, shop now, buy it now, view now and learn more, and download. Those aren't gonna be relevant. So just make sure that you have ones that are relevant to actually making a purchase. Now, one thing that's really cool that's actually pretty new to TikTok Shop or TikTok ads is going to be this right here. These are going to be different types of display cards or different types of icons that you can add to your ad. This is really cool because it adds an extra level of interactivity and it gives a little bit more information to your customers. So for one, let's go with the countdown sticker. This is really cool because this is something that can kind of build a sense of pressure in your customer, because they'll think that, oh, by the time that this countdown finishes, either the sale is going to be over or they might not be selling it anymore. So things like this are, I guess, pressure builders, as I like to call them, to entice your customers to make a purchase faster. Now, of course, here we can go ahead and put our sticker title. So something like this, we can simply put order now before the sale ends. We have different sticker colors. I like to go with red because red creates a sense of urgency. And then you have your deadline. So when does the countdown end? Besides that, you have a few other options that you can go ahead and edit, but really you can just drag and drop to wherever you want. All right, so let's go ahead and confirm that. I'm gonna leave that one on there. Okay, so next we need to set where we're gonna send our customers to. Where's the landing page gonna be? Is it gonna be at www.mystore.com, or is it gonna be, in this case, our TikTok shop? Now, to do the TikTok shop, this is pretty easy. All you have to do is run over to your products, and this is the one that I'm gonna be uploading, or the one that I'm gonna be sending them to. Here, all we have to do is simply click on this little eye icon, and we can copy the URL directly from here. Now we're going to run over to our TikTok ads manager again. On the URL, we're going to go ahead and delete that and paste in the one that we just copied over. And just to make sure, we can go ahead and preview. And yep, this is exactly our page. This is where we want them to go to. After that, scroll down a little bit. Does the ad contain AI generated content? No, it does not. By checking this box, you authorize the ad and associated performance metrics. Go ahead and click on that one. Now, tracking. This is something that is optional. You don't have to do it, but it is highly recommended. What tracking does is simply allow you to install something called a pixel. What this pixel does is it keeps track of everything that your customer does when they land on your website or on your product page. So it'll tell you if somebody just landed on there and they clicked off, or if they landed on there, they scrolled a little bit, read your description, and then clicked off, or added to cart and then clicked off, and so on. So this will tell you everything that you need to know as far as your customer's activity on your page. This is something that's very helpful because it can teach you where your customers are dropping off. For this case though, I'm gonna go ahead and leave it blank, and we're gonna go ahead and publish all. Now, this is pretty much the last step that we need to take, and there's actually one thing that I forgot to do. So we do have to create our identity. We can go ahead and create, and we can make our own username. So in this case, let's do Pitbull Bling. That's actually pretty cool. Go ahead and create. Now that we have our text written down over here, we can see that Here, it's going to show our text. This simple chain can totally change how your dog looks, and our username, or better said, our identity, Pitbull Bling. All right, and now from here, we can simply just go ahead and click on Publish All. Now, the next thing we need to do is something that we should have done earlier, but if you didn't do it earlier, that's fine. We can do it now. And that's going to be setting up our billing information. So this is really something simple. Just tell TikTok how we're going to pay for things. And then once that's done, once we have our billing information set up, the next thing we need to do is add a balance to our account. So this is where the budget is going to come from. Once this balance runs out, our ads are going to stop. So here we can simply just put something like $100 and click on next. Now we simply just choose a way to pay. We're going to pay with a credit card, PayPal, Venmo. This is pretty crazy how Venmo is actually now accepted as a form of payment. And besides that, you also have GMV Pay, which this would be just paying through your TikTok shop. Now, I like to go with either credit card or PayPal. And then once that's done, you just go ahead and verify and submit your payment, and you're done. After that, your ad is going to be in review. Once TikTok reviews it, which typically takes a couple hours, it'll officially go live where people will start seeing it and they're going to be able to click on it and go to your TikTok shop page to make a purchase. And that is exactly how you can start running ads with your TikTok shop. This is how you can start running TikTok ads so you can start reaching a broad audience and hopefully start making some more sales. What did you think of today's video? Let me know down in the comments below. Remember, if you want access to the cheat sheet, just leave a comment with the hashtag TikTok dropshipping and let me know what your takeaway is from this video. As always, massive thank yous to everyone for watching this video, especially if you made it all the way to the end. If you took anything away from this video, if you found it informational, if you found it helpful or educational, please make sure you smash that like button. It truly helps me out and it helps out the channel. And if you enjoyed watching me, or if you enjoyed learning from me, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future videos. And also, last but not least, so that way you stay up to date with all of the current trends and make sure that you're first in line to learn what the best products are to dropship, whether that be month to month or based out of different niches. Make sure you hit that little bell notification so that way you're informed when we release a video the moment that it drops. Once again, last time I promise, thank you so much for watching. My name is Mario with Auto DS, and I'll catch y'all next time.